Channeling Mother Earth.
Of Planet Sirius. In the blue and purple galaxy. In the center of the universe near the great central sun.
On behalf of the Intergalactic Federation. Of the populated planets in the universe.
Planet Sirius Akashic Record.
By Leah Adam.
Life in Sirius. Mother Earth of Sirius speaks.
I, Mother Earth of Planet Sirius, reside in the center of the universe, near the great central sun. With grief I announce these days to my creators, the High Divine Councils, Intergalactic Federation of the Populated Planet Organization in the Universe and their Earth Mothers, that my star nearly lost its right of life due to very dramatic wars over the last 10 years. Sirius residents live in third dimension reality as planet Earth, but our residents are influenced by the powerful rays frequency of the great central sun near us, which reside in the center of the universe. Therefore their DNA structure is more awake and their crown chakra is open in relation to planet Earth residents. It's influenced their life in ways. Yet, great spiritual awakening and ascension as on Earth didn't happen yet on Sirius. Due to the big catastrophe of the major wars, we don't allow any more as in the past many souls to incarnate on our big modern star. The light pathways in the way to be born from the astral dimensions on planet Sirius almost blocked by divine forces, for the sake of the highest good of humanity. It is still dangerous in all areas of planet Sirius now. Almost all the capital big cities of the stars destroyed with all their residents, including women and children. In the islands of my lands natives live in peace. They do agriculture worker and are detached from the modern population in the big star, because they don't have modern technology as in the capital cities of the star. Equals in Sirius there are no airplanes to fly people, therefore the natives in the islands and faraway areas of the star cannot come to the big modern cities. There are huge spacecrafts in my lands that fly in amazing light years speed all over creation. They visit sometime the islands and all the star, but cannot allow many people to fly in them as in airplanes on Earth. In the last 10 years population density, brothers jealousy, and rebellion between brothers and against the leaders' laws in the big cities, created the severe wars. The star of Sirius didn't gain powerful divine sanctifications as the ancient populated planets in Genesis days of creation, because it was created later. I, Mother Earth of Sirius, younger in age than Mother Earth Gaia, but I am stronger and not tired as Gaia from humans' catastrophes and cruelty. Therefore during wars, it is easier for me than Gaia to hold myself in the horrible events that occurred in Sirius. The meridians in the depth of my lands are stronger than on Earth, but were blocked at a certain level due to the wars and suffering. My lands are still fresh in relation to planet Earth lands, which suffer from severe energy blocks in many energetic centers. This is why major earthquakes broke often on Earth and not at all on my lands. In the last decade, we approached more to the great central sun and won its solar light energy for many purposes, as the use of gas on Earth. Unfortunately, the wars hit badly the magnetic field of Sirius, as well the magnetic field of the great central sun, which is sensitive huge being. The great central sun don't spread hit as the sun of planet Earth. It has many rays with traversive qualities. The great central sun experienced shocks from the war's events, because never before occurred human wars nearby it and in this power. The magnetic fields of the sun had very serious impact from the powerful waves of the shells, its emotional body damaged. The big armies of Sirius have huge tanks thin on Earth which killed and destroyed the cities by powerful explosions of fire. This damaged the great central sun magnetic field. The small and pain of thousands people who were killed hurt its emotional body. The condition of the great central sun due to Sirius wars created emergency call in the universe. Sirius wars threatened the entire universe because they severely damaged the great central sun. It is now much better after the great central sun received great assistance from big divine forces which mobilized to assist the great central sun. We thanked them deeply. The wars that broke on my lands were particularly hard and cruel. They started in remote areas from the main cities and arrived in last years of the wars to most of the large cities. We don't have real borders as on Earth between countries, but big areas and cities in them with leaders who control them. Every human can live where he wants if he arrived to faraway area of the planet. We don't have nationalities, religions, races, and different skin colors except to the native people in the islands who are a little darker but look as all the Sirius people. I, Mother Earth of Planet Sirius, was very proud that over the last century my residents developed amazing science exploration of spacecrafts and public trains. I didn't believe that precisely its technological development will destroy my star. The huge star spaceships of Sirius are giants, luxurious and sophisticated. Elevators moved at lightning speed. They still roam all around the universe and creation at amazing light speeds, and explore what is happening in it. They have relay stations in many stars and on planet Earth on which they often land. Now they are afraid to return home to their bloodied lands. Despite the differences in the light frequencies, the spacecraft people succeeded to survive on many stars for a long time, also on Earth. In this era many souls asked to incarnate on my lands. It was great privilege to be born on Sirius till the harsh wars broke out. We experienced wonderful and extraordinary era of comfort life. The star residents were happy with their lives and enjoyed the indescribable economic opulence. None of the universe stars in all creation in all ages accomplished so high achievements of modern social life and technology. However, in Sirius the labor discipline is high as well the professional requirements in all the advanced fields of work. The sophisticated spacecraft relay stations are outside the capital cities. They inhabit many huge spaceships that come and disappear in a minute to faraway distances. Most of them survive the wars, and still own big spaceships which fly all over the universe, visit often planet Earth, and other populated planets and universes. The great central sun ascended in this era to very powerful light realms and all creation enjoy it. However, the energies in the region are very aggressive and cause emotional instability in the universe and hard wars. The spacecraft which visit planet Earth and other stars are afraid to return to Sirius. Most of the spaceships' relay stations are protected now. Unfortunately, a number of centers were damaged. The human wars broke out on political background because the leaders of the largest areas were aggressive and competitive. The nation rebelled its leaders, claiming that they are not decent with it and resist the various political currents existing in the planet. They were angry of the leaders and residents of the capital cities who had large amount of money, weapons, power, and right to rule because they didn't behave kindly to the poor people and big class differences have become. The consciousness of human brotherhood among the leaders of my lands and their concern for their people is law. Therefore most of our leaders were killed. I find it hard to believe that regardless of the life in the big planet Sirius, which were wonderful and easy in many big areas compared to life on planet Earth and in most planets of our universe, so cruel wars occurred. The poor people envied the rich people. They were angry at the leaders who didn't support them. The regime in most areas of Sirius is capitalist as in America. It didn't prove itself to be fair and ethical as the socialist regime in most populated stars of the universe. People need more help and compassion from their leaders, because many don't know to become rich and there are many young souls all over the universe who need help and support. The large class and races differences eventually brought great hatred and civil brothers wars, also on Earth and other populated planets in the universe, such as Jupiter and Mars. The huge tanks of Sirius armies in blink of eye with no mercilessly eliminated the entire populated big cities with residents. The powerful shells of Sirius armies are capable to shot a huge distances spaces. They brutally shot in the streets in all directions. Shelters didn't exist in Sirius because the star was not ready for war. Sirius capital cities were rich with amazing transportation and technology, like in science fiction movies of planet Earth. Also in ancient times, planet Sirius was developed in science but not as now. The international transportation in the big cities of huge trains was powered intensity by the solar energy power of the great central sun in indescribable speed. Huge cars and trains run on sophisticated modern electric rails at incredible speed and the wide roads which designed in very sophisticated way. In the wealthiest and largest cities, in every street corner, giant screens projected news during peacetime and wars. They showed the state of war on all fronts. Advertisements like in planet Earth were not projected on these screens, and we didn't have theaters or televisions. On the streets and on the big screens, people could hear impressive speeches of leaders and other people who tried to avoid the riots. Most military and political leaders of the planet were younger in soul age and physical age, irresponsible and moderate, and reckless in assessing human life. Therefore the power got up their heads and the lust of conquest eliminated most of the populated cities. The residents organized most of the wars, and joined the army after they decided to rebel against their laws and opposed the fact of their wealth. For long eons of wealth, blessing, quiet, decent, and happy life, planet Sirius was accepted with great honor among the Intergalactic Federation's organization of the populated planets in the universe. Now the star lost its dignity and place in this organization. I, Mother Earth of Planet Sirius, experiencing shock as the great central sun and all the populated and unpopulated planets of the region, which are influenced by the severe surprising wars. We didn't believe that the wars will continue so many years, and approach such scale of brutality that will eliminate most of the major big cities with all their residents. Our residents lived quiet, distant life, yet they revolted so much their fate, perhaps because eras of freedom knocking on our doors and humans don't agree anymore to a big effort for the sake of surviving as in the past. Proof of this is that in addition to the poor people of big cities, large and established organizations joined the rebellion. Unfortunately, the condition of the astral dimensions in this era is not easy to survive for long, and creation is inherent to its development in the physical dimensions. The superpower bombs ever known to humanity throws powerfully not only the casualties of my lands, but also my soul, Mother Earth of Planet Sirius. I flew out from the heart of the Earth in part soul together with the casualties of my lands and spinning with them from the big shells and dangerous dramatic death. The tank's shells were so powerful that they killed human beings in very cruel and fast way, which often caused them to lose balance after their death from the stroke of the terrible fire heat. Many people suffered from memory loss, emotional state of severe shock, fear, and trauma of war. Deaths from explosion of spaceships in the sky, and also from the powerful artillery shells of Sirius, is very dangerous. The souls after death fly long distance from their body by the momentum of spaceships or the tank's shells. If the soul is young and small, it might experience shattering into shards which scatter all over the sky, or lose its memory and sanity from the shock of the cruel fast death. The acceleration time in Sirius is fast and the light frequencies in the heart of the universe is most powerful in this age. Therefore, more powerful shells than on Earth flow during the wars in enormous speed, and those who died had difficulty connecting to the light and elevate to astral dimensions.
How long your love had shall.
Due to Sirius big wars, the universe has now overpopulation in the astral dimensions, especially in the 7th big modern dimension. Vast expansive improvised fields was prepared for the mass causalities which arrived to the 5th dimension, and more to the 7th astral dimensions. Unfortunately, was not enough ready living places for the soldiers in these dimensions, so they had to stay for some time in large groups under field conditions in tents, in temporary and makeshift structures. The soldiers and officers who were killed stayed under similar conditions to those they had in the war. When they met the leaders and soldiers who killed them, they understood the irony of the false games in the duality dimension. Large whole brigades ascended together in the light. The soldiers gained mental treatment from compassionate women in the areas that evacuated for them, especially in the 7th dimension. Many of the soldiers already incarnated in planet Earth and other planets. Some of them born as women in order to rest from the threatening dangers wars. There are not enough good places to incarnate in the universe, to the mess humans who have killed in Sirius. The magnetic field of planet Sirius damaged badly from the wars and suffering. The planet landed to low frequency, and now it has difficult to be stable and balanced as before. I, Mother Earth of Sirius, feel also sorry for the many people who remained in the huge star in less developed areas and don't know about the wars, because they are poor and have primitive life. Terrible holocaust and chaos are in my star now, almost like after the fall of large meteors or earthquakes which we never experienced. In the small cities that remain in the primitive remote villages, which located mostly new souls, there are no many economic resources and quick transport. Most of the conquered cities' residents were unable to run in time to remote areas because they conquered rapidly and powerfully and had nowhere to stay, and those who run away suffer of distressful living conditions with almost no food and electricity. They have no livelihood sources and homes, and they pray for their death. I'd rather see them born on other stars in good living conditions. Legions of angels were called for assist in evacuating the inhuman alien who arrived to the era out of curiosity. They helped to purge the best they could. The soldiers and officers who were killed stayed under similar conditions to those they had in the war. When they met the leaders and soldiers who killed them, they understood the irony of the false games in the duality dimension. All the populated planets that reside near Sirius were asked by their creators to avoid approaching too much toward the planet that was burning fire of hell. The entire area was illuminated with red light and dense black smog from the shell's fire, which hinders clear vision and causes drowsiness and fainting to those who come close to it. Sirius armies hold huge military spacecrafts which are sent in the vastness of the universe stars, not only for research but for spy prepuces, in the vastness of the universe stars. There are a group of spacecrafts called the Red Warfare. They are red, and their employees wear spacesuits in red color. Sirius Army don't have airplanes. Other spacecrafts in the planet are painted blue or other colors, and their people belong to other groups. Unfortunately, these spaceships can't attack other stars from the invisible dimension they reside, in the spatial frequency of the stars to which they arrive. The spaceships people who visit in some populated planets and all around the universe are better to realize that there are many happy humans than them, which have peaceful angelic beings or other soul type who have happier life than in Sirius, and are more developed in the emotional body, especially in planet Venus and Earth. It is good that there is different frequency of light between the stars so people cannot see and communicate with the visiting spacecraft and their stars. The great central sun fear interstellar between stars, civil brothers wars all over the universe realms, if the planets will approach in the future toward the center of the universe and each other, and eliminate the gap dimensions between the stars, as the sophisticated filmmakers on Earth predict by showing wars in galactic scale. We are pleased that the wars already ended after about 10 years. Heavy cloud of darkness and sadness felt now in Sirius. The leaders of the big eras who left decided to eliminate and avenge their brethren in other areas. They are bloodthirsty and killing. We are shocked to the depths of our souls and mourning the grief of mothers who lost their soldiers' children, and the widows' women whose husbands joined the war also in areas that were not attacked. The people who remain on Sirius lands in the big cities are isolated, abandoned as homeless. Some manage to escape in time from the big cities to other areas after the major shelling. I, Mother Earth of Planet Sirius and its big islands, call on the assistance great divine forces, and our dear Father Mother God, for my dear residents. I bow my head and announces my grief and pain for the many casualties, and lowers the flag of the star for a moment of silence.
What can I do to comfort you? Don't hide away in solitude. What can I say to show the way? Let